Ready?
Ready.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to try and mention a couple moments where there's going to be good things to write down for the quiz today. I'm going to try and go slow, but if you have any questions, stop me at any time. Just raise your hand and we can go over certain things in more detail. So the main goal for tonight is to give you guys a synopsis of what big boat sailing is. You've probably heard of it a couple times, because mainly what we do on this team is small boat sailing. We do dinghies and collegiate style. But we also have a big boat team. So if you pay attention tonight, you can get involved into that. So the difference between a big boat and a dinghy. Obviously, it's not a dinghy. A dinghy's lightweight. You can carry it around. You typically sail with 1 to 2 people. A big boat is heavy. You rely on ballast, which is like a lead keel. Instead of a thin centerboard that's made out of fiberglass, it's made out of aluminum or steel, and there can be tens of thousands of pounds in one bulb on the bottom to counteract the force of the sails instead of hiking out like you do in a dinghy. Crew sizes go from 4 to 25, and expensive, powerful, and fun. So this is important to you because right now we're all young enough to jump around in a dinghy. But you know, once you're 25 or 30 and rich, you decide it's time to drop some money. Now, you could sail a boat like this. Yeah. $25,000. Now, after college, most of the sailing is done in big boats. So that's why this is really important. And I have a couple videos for you guys in case you don't know what I'm talking about. So this is a Volvo 70. This is probably one of the most extreme keel boats you can get to. These things are 70 feet long. They're multi-million-dollar boats, and they race around the world. They have, I think, 12-person crews, and they're capable of speeds up to 40 knots, which gets really crazy. When you're stuck in a squall, your sails are up, you can't get them down because you just go too fast. So loads on like a jib, like right here, go from like 10 pounds in a 420 to thousands of pounds once again. So that's the biggest difference. Just loads get crazy.
That boat is currently at Mac Bay Yacht Club, North Michigan. El
Mastro, baby. Yeah. For sale. Oh no, someone bought it.
Yeah.
I think it went for. Yeah.
It sailed around the world.
All right. So some next points of this. Now, when you're on a boat like this, I said the sails become super powerful. If you don't work as a team, you can get hurt really fast. Let's say a line rips off a sail and comes back and whips at you, you could die like that because a line going that fast turns into it's deadly. Boats like this, you also you tether in when it's crazy conditions, because if you get swept off the back and you're not tied to something, the boat can be half a mile ahead in the middle of the ocean before they can turn around. And it could be the middle of the night. All right, that's Puma.
Exclusively on Volvo 70.
All right. Now, what you do on our team, you sail boats like Navy 44s at the championships and IOR. All those different big boat regattas are more like Ryan Seago's boat, which is an NA 40. That's what we're going to see next. And this is shot by our very own Scott Ismail.
Like -2 miles an hour.
Yeah, the other one goes 40. This goes about. Our top speed was 4. No, our top speed on this boat was 14, and it was pretty sketchy.
That was driving off a cliff.
So this is in Lake St. Clair. The way you hike on a boat like this is, if you can see people hugged on the rail. That's how you get your weight out. Their sails, they have the number 3, which is a smaller jib right here on the deck. They couldn't get it up, so it's just hanging out on the top of the boat. Yeah, yeah, this is a BT. And there's all the other boats they're racing. In big boats, since a lot of the times not many people own the exact same boat, you use a handicap system where you calculate how much time you owe another boat. Like a Melgis 24, which is a really fast boat. If Ryan's boat raced that, they would owe each other like 40 seconds per mile. So 5-mile race, add it up, you owe them like a couple minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what else? What other videos did Gross Point put up?
Gross Point beating.
Yeah, check out my channel.
All right.
Oh, is that you? Back to normal, big bro.
All right, everyone ready? Next thing. Teamwork is everything on a big boat. Every single person has their own job, and everyone has to rely on each other to get their job done. Now, when you sail on a high-level boat, what you'll learn is this guy right here, his job will be right there, and if he starts worrying about someone else's job, suddenly he's not doing it as well as he could. So that's why you really have to be able to trust that everyone else is going to know what they're doing. This is hiking on a big boat. Like I said, on a 70-footer in the Great Lakes, this is just a calculation I know, one person on a 70-foot long boat hiking out means 6 boat lengths further distance that you gain in your competitor. So what that means is, even though the boat's huge, every little second is gained by hiking out as hard as you can on a big boat. The best thing I can really stress too is anyone can really do big boat sailing. What you do is you get on a boat and you expect them to teach you stuff, and they will. Because each job, there's minuscule jobs and then there's huge jobs. So the important thing is just to try it out, and you'll get better as the years go. This is something you want to pay attention to. Wink, wink. So on a typical 40-foot boat, there's a couple of jobs. First one is helmsman. Obviously they drive, and their main responsibility is to make the boat go fast. That's what they focus on. Next you have the mainsail trimmer, and in case quick refresher,
Naval architect or something?
exactly. Okay, right here, the back sail is called the mainsail. You should all know this. And the front sail is the jib. So on a typical big boat, you got your mainsail trimmer, and I'm going to draw it out where everyone is, and it'll start to make sense. Here's the jib, and here's the main. The mainsail trimmer hangs out right here, and they look around and make sure their mainsail's perfect, and they talk with the skipper on how fast you're going. Next you have the 2 trimmers, and on a big boat like this, so here's your jib. The line comes to the back of the boat, and it goes on 2 giant drums called winches. And you use these winches, they look like this. Oh. Took a turn. They look like this. And there's a crank on the top of them that gives you leverage. So you would go like this to crank a sail in. And there's multiple gears. So you have your 2 trimmers that hang out on their, or grinders that hang out right here and here that connects the jib to. You 2, shut up. Okay, we're going to move a little faster because these are the less important ones. Pit. Oh, you want to hear these? Okay, no, we can do this.
That is not true, Chris.
They're all important jobs.
That's what you said before, yeah.
They are all important jobs. When I say less...
The important thing to remember on a big boat is that everybody thinks they have the most important.
No, it's true. When I said that, I mean I don't want you guys to get too hung up and forget other stuff. So, but we can get advanced if you guys can handle it. Okay, pit. We have new people here. Take it easy. All right. Next is pit. Pit hangs out right like in the cockpit. Now on a boat like Ryan's, if here's the mast right here, you have a spinnaker pole that goes way out in front of the boat, and the pit person. Shh. Seriously, stop interrupting. So the pit person will control this pole, and they have to work together with the trimmers because the trimmers let the spinnaker in and out, and the trimmers can't do that unless the pit guy works right with them. So the thing you got to know is the pit guy has to be aware of what else is going around, whereas a trimmer usually is just focused on their trimming job. A pit person has to look at everything. Next you have the mast man, which is he hangs out right here when he's doing stuff, and that's because all the lines go up and down the mast. You'd have a big guy like Chris who can grab a line all the way up to the top of the head and shoot it down as hard as they can, and that's really how you raise a sail. It's not like you don't raise a sail like this. On a big boat you go motions from all the way up as high as you can get and down, and you do that like 10 times as fast as you can to get sails up. And then you have bow. Bow guy will hang out up there when he's doing stuff because he has to hook the sails up right up there, and he has to coordinate the launching and dropping of the spinnaker, which is the sail that's out here on a big boat. And the bow guy has to hook the kite up, and they have to, on a boat like this, the pole switches sides, and we can get into that later, but when the pole switches sides, the bow guy has a job of changing what line connects to the spinnaker connects to the pole. And that's sometimes hard on a big boat because it gets really complicated. Yeah.
So,
Do you guys have any additions? Yeah.
one thing that's really important on a big boat is that in a dinghy, you can pretty much either hike the boat flat or pull in on whatever needs to get changed. Your own strength is enough to get things done. On a big boat, that's absolutely not possible. And so it's really important. All the people up here all have to work together. Generally, you'll have sort of groups of 2 or 3 positions that, whether you're trimming a sail or changing a sail, even to something as simple as tacking the boat. In a dinghy, it's really simple. You just switch to the other side. In a big boat, it's a little bit more complicated. The maneuvers and the tactics are pretty much the same, but you have to work together a lot more.
The key is to yell really loudly.
And that's what you'll notice when you pass a boat on the race course. Typically, the boats that are screaming at each other are the ones that are having breakdowns in communication and are going slower because of it. The quiet boats are the scariest to me on a race course because they're getting everything done without even talking. Everyone knows their job. Liz?
I was just gonna say that, you guys obviously have your mainsail trimmer in a 420, and it's also the driver. Just in a big boat, the driver only drives the mainsail, the trimmer does just the mainsail. And the pit essentially does all the controls that you guys would do. It's like everything forward and like Bang and Cunningham and all the stuff that you still see on a 420. There are a lot of similarities between dinghies. It's just
The
giant.
loads are massive.
Yeah, you're just like working on a larger scale. And I'm sure, I don't know if Will is gonna go into it symmetrical and asymmetrical. Okay, all right, it's fine.
Yeah.
Never mind, that's all.
There's one other thing for any of you guys. It shouldn't sound like daunting or overwhelming. It's really fun, and Ryan and Sammy and a couple of other people have boats in the area, and especially during the fall and the spring, we're out sailing a lot. And if you guys are interested in it, you should definitely try it, because a boat like this, you'll have all of these people, but they're big enough that you can have a couple extra people on there learning what to do and stuff like that. And it's a great opportunity to get out on the water, try different types of sailing, meet new people, and you'll pick things up really quickly.
Right, so what I really want to emphasize tonight is you guys are already at an advantage on the big boat circuit because a lot of adults try and get into it at age 30 and they don't know how to sail. Like a 420 is a pretty hard boat to sail. If you can sail 420, you can sail a big boat. What you want to move into is knowing the first jobs you do. And the first one is hiking, and the second one is grinding, where you just pull sailing. And it doesn't take much to think about. And then you can move into more advanced things as you learn. So types of racing. Types of racing.
Looks like it's
I think that's
This is on Mackinac. So one of the types of racing we do is long distance in big boats. That can be 200 miles, that can be 4,000. Now, this was on the Mackinac race on Ryan's boat. We've done that for the past 4 years, and it's been a lot of fun. Those are the kinds of races where you're going for 2 or 3 days in a row where you sleep for 4 hours and then you race for 4 hours and you do rotations. The next style you do is beer can racing, which would be a good entry-level thing for you guys if you've never sailed a big boat before. That basically means you go to a local yacht club with a 12-pack of beer, if age appropriate, and any boat will take you. And any boat will also take you if you're wearing Michigan sailing stuff because they like getting new people into sailing, especially on big boats. And then there's college-style courses where it's just like a windward lured, where a starting line right here, windward mark there, wind coming from here.
This your typical race that you guys sail if you've been to a regatta with our team?
Yep. Zigzag upwind, round the windward mark, set a spinnaker, because big boats sail spinnakers. Round your leeward mark, and then zigzag up and finish.
If you don't screw up right. Yeah.
All right, how to get involved.
Good times. Those are good times.
90% of the bow is looking good.
Okay, you guys ready?
Sorry, yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
Ready.
Okay. If you want to get involved with our team, just ask one of the people organizing it. Chris Oliver will probably be the first one. If you want to get involved outside of our season, which I really suggest, I'll try and send out some emails of people who approach us at Strictly Sail. There are multiple people. And like I said, 12-pack of beer, if you're old enough, I'm serious, any boat will take you if you bring beer. Yeah, and ask me. And that's part of your quiz. If you, at the end of the quiz, check the box if you want tips from me, because I've sailed big boats my whole life, and I know a lot of people around the Midwest that are always looking for crew. And if it's a place I haven't been, I can tell you the ways to find people. It's really not too hard. All right, that's it. Quiz time.